We've arrived at a time where the mining boom is winding down. Renewable energy is set to become the main source of power in the near future. The coal power stations and the associated mines will become redundant. Australian exports of coal are already slowing down, with some of our largest exporters committing to becoming carbon neutral in the near future. What happens to the towns and the communities that are built around the coal mines and rely on their income? Often a remediation plan is put into place for the closure of a mine, but the focus is on getting the land back to what is deemed an acceptable state, with little or no consideration for the people in the community. Even the environmental remediation is a bare minimum, with just enough done to keep the land stable without any thought to its future growth. Yallourn, like many mining towns, has a rich mining history and a certain amount of pride in their work supplying power to Victoria. Often several generations have worked at the power station and in the mine. Yallourn even has a historical siting with a museum tourists can visit with a collection of photos, models, and old bits of machinery. Like most mines, there are several barriers between the mine and the town, with trees planted around the edges and high barbed wire fences surrounding, so they can't actually see what happens inside the mine. Yallourn Power Station and the attached mines are set to close in 2032, with a high possibility of it closing earlier with the push for renewable energy by the Andrews government. While there is a substantial remediation plan for the environment, there is an opportunity for design and community to come together to play a bigger role in the future of these near-redundant spaces. Water is an important part of the country. From before white man invaded, the Gunnakumari creation story comes from their two creators, travelling the waterways, creating storylines along the way. Floods, rivers diverted, and landslides have all impacted the town and the mine over its life. Now, the major plan for the open cut pit is to just fill it with water. Such a large amount of water, it will take nearly 20 years to fill. One of the big concerns with this is the contamination of the surrounding waterways and ecosystems from the byproduct of the power plant. Is there a way that renewable energy can be implemented into existing infrastructure so Yallourn can continue being part of the power supply for Victoria, starting a new chapter that the community can continue being proud of? Yallourn North Open Cut, a much smaller pit that is only used for an ash water pond, could become the testing ground for the larger open cut mines. The close proximity to the mine to the town means it could be easily accessible with the potential for steps to be returned, bringing the gap between the town and the disused pit closer. An anaerobic digestion plant could offer a way for the Latrobe Valley to create power for the area, while collecting organic waste from the surrounding towns, both domestic and commercial, alongside the waste from agricultural areas. The anaerobic digestion plant process creates natural gases and heat from the waste that can be transferred into electricity and dispersed using the existing infrastructure. An additional benefit from this process is the byproduct that creates nutrient-rich soil that can be mixed with the overburdened soil from the mines, replenishing what was taken out and providing an opportunity for the environment to recover. An additional byproduct of the process is a fertilizer that the surrounding farms can use. This could be the beginning of a small hub in the pit for the community to gather, bring in past, continuing and future histories together. Toilets and general public amenities would help make the hub a stopping point. As well as a connection between the town, the hub could link up to existing bike paths and nature paths. These paths could use the mesh grates from the redundant power plant to create a raised walkway that lightly touches the ground and creates a visual connection at all times. The scale of the mines and the whole mining operation is hard to grasp, from a distance and even more so from the inside. Instead of destroying the power plant, creating more waste materials from the plant could be reclaimed and used for future builds. Things like the different sized storage tanks could be reclaimed, and the large steel portal frames from the turbine room could become an open frame to infill with the medium scale anaerobic plant and the human scale community hub. These contrasting scales, lightly touching architecture, and combination of past, continuing, and future are all tools to help us stay with the trouble, not hide away from the human impact on the environment, and strive to be better.